Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. It's Theo here, and you may know that yesterday I published the first issue of my newsletter. Now, before even publishing it, I got this message on Instagram. Please write how you learn French and Spanish language learning tips, how you get into Oxbridge. UCAS season is approaching. I don't want to read philosophy in your newsletter. Okay, so I found this message quite funny because I was thinking of communicating with you in a more philosophical way in my newsletter, which by the way is linked below, and you can access it and see yesterday's issue as well on there. On the other hand, I think this person is right, and as a consequence, I will do more videos on language learning and getting into Oxbridge, particularly Cambridge because that's where I went. In today's video, I'll read the personal statement that I wrote to get into modern and medieval languages at Cambridge. I applied for German post-A level and Spanish ab initio, that means advanced German and Spanish from the beginning or from scratch. Now, as you might know, if you're thinking of applying to university in the UK, the personal statement is a written statement that you submit as part of your application via UCAS to the 5 universities that you choose in order for them to consider your application and to find out more about you. It should be personal, that's why it's a personal statement. It should reflect who you are as much as it should reflect your capability to think critically and analyze what you've read. And readings for this personal statement are really important. And especially when applying for Oxbridge, for Oxford and Cambridge, the personal statement should really be more analytical than descriptive. It shouldn't be about your hobbies or about who you are, what you do. It should prove how you engaged with the topic before going to university. It should prove your passion for the topic as well as your knowledge. There is quite a strict space limit for this document. Personally, I wrote 621 words and 3,993 characters with spaces. So I will read my personal statement to you now, which I wrote at the end of high school 4 years ago and which got me an interview and led to me receiving a conditional offer from Cambridge. I had to adapt the structure of my personal statement because of this limit, so I wrote 3 paragraphs. The first paragraph includes both an introduction with a bit of a personal twist and the German part. The second paragraph is about Spanish. The third paragraph is about linguistics and my interests more broadly. So I'll now read my personal statement in its entirety, and I'll give you some closing thoughts at the end of the video. You can see which paragraph I'm on by following the titles on the screen, and I really hope this brings some value to you. The presence of a historic Saxon community in Transylvania, my native region, fostered my interest in the German language. After years of theoretical study, extended exposure to it during several 3-week language summer courses in Vienna showed me its cultural importance and helped me achieve fluency and the Goethe-Zertifikat C1. I became particularly intrigued by the links between literature and history in the German-speaking countries. For example, the lag between impressive economic progress and poor socio-political development during the Deutsche Bund and Zollverein period, as explored by such realist writers as Theodor Storm in Der Schimmelreiter, which portrays the clash between a traditionalist society and the individual in a continuously industrializing state. This also made me wonder about the historical roots of globalization. A similar connection to social events caught my attention in the works of modernists, especially their retrospective take on cultural mentality and its relevance to the German catastrophe in Thomas Mann's Dr. Faustus and the deeply critical view of society in Günter Grass's Die Blechtrommel. I am currently writing my Deutsche Sprachdiplom project on left-wing extremism in post-war Germany, an in-depth study of written materials and films including The Lost Honor of Katharina Blum, which has honed my research and translation skills. What fascinates me is how the German people, so long politically divided until the 19th century, still preserved a coherent cultural identity, showing the importance of language as a unifying factor. 2 of the most important linguists in the history of the Spanish language, Antonio de Nebrija and El Escritor Andrés Bello, also viewed language as a political tool for unification. Both these linguists' work, though divided by 3 centuries and an ocean, together with King Alfonso X's pioneering support for writing in the Castilian vernacular, contributed to standardizing the language, thus preventing its fragmentation into dialects and keeping the different regions culturally linked. Their input crucially shaped the development of modern Spanish, which I studied during my 3-week language course in Madrid. The atmosphere created by the unique Mudéjar architecture and socially connected paintings by Goya and Picasso brought to life the context evoked by Simon Barton's A History of Spain. I was gratified to discover that even without previous study, I could already partly understand Spanish thanks to my knowledge of two Romance languages, French level C1 and Romanian, and my previous study of basic Latin. What cemented my attachment to Spanish culture were the 1961 film El Cid, which depicts medieval Spain and the Reconquista in a very expressive manner, and the utterly comprehensive yet delightful to read The Story of Spanish by Nadeau and Barlow. Both highlight the emergence of Spanish society from a three-culture environment. I would be intrigued to explore the historical course of the melding of Arabic and Sephardic influences with the Celtiberian background and its outcomes today. After discovering more about how the human mind works by taking part in the Psychology National Olympiad and stimulated by David Crystal's How Language Works, I found myself striving for a bigger picture and asked myself, how do German and Spanish societies actually work? Correlating historical events with the artistic output of each country in a cause-effect manner gave me a useful start, but I hope to deepen my comprehension by studying modern languages at degree level. Another important means of expression for me, besides language, is music, playing guitar in my rock band having been a favorable context for developing my communication and teamwork skills. In future, I intend to take up a new language, perhaps Dutch, and I would be fascinated to inquire into the constraints of defining a common European identity, given the fact of linguistic diversity. Alright, so this was the personal statement that got me an interview at Cambridge. I submitted it by the 15th of October, if I'm not mistaken. And you should definitely check the deadlines for this year if you're applying this year. I wrote 9 drafts of this personal statement before reaching the final version, which you heard right before. Reading it aloud, I now realized I had to cut so many words that would have made sense to be there, like full names of the authors, and the word book from time to time. It's missing because I suppose that people would be reading it, so it's always in italics. I don't need to add the word book because I have got those space limits, space restraints, and I wanted to get in as much analytic and insightful content as possible in there to show my abilities and my interests and my passion, and to show who I am in relation with this topic. Please let me know in the comments below what you think. Did I achieve that? Was there anything else that I could have added that I missed? And do you have any other tips for writing personal statements? Because I feel like there are a lot of people watching my channel who are thinking of applying to Oxbridge, and this might be really helpful for them. And thank you for watching, thank you for being here. And I mentioned my newsletter at the beginning of the video. The link is in the description, and feel free to subscribe to my newsletter to stay up to date with the videos I'm publishing. If you're applying to Oxbridge or to university this year, it's a great time to be subscribing because I'll be putting out more videos on these topics in the coming period. Also, if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up because it really helps with the algorithm and helping more people see this video. And also, if you like this kind of videos, then don't hesitate to also subscribe and click the bell notification button to be notified when I post those new videos. Apart from that, stay safe, take care, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye bye.